Welcome, everybody, to the second race, the second chapter of the HTL National Series. From Daytona to Darlington, we arrive in South Carolina to cap off a week of racing at this 1.36 mile racing facility. It's Gen 6s here in South Carolina. 110 laps, 150 miles await the drivers here tonight. Steven Oberstadt kicked off 2024 with a race win last Friday on the high banks. Can he back that up here at the Lady in Black? The track, too tough to tame, has claimed many victims already this week. Who joins that list of victims tonight, and who etches their name as a race winner? The second in the HTL National Series. Welcome everyone to AB and Esports coverage of the HTL National Series here from Darlington. I'm Carmen, Sienna. Whether you're bracing for the storm in the Midwest and in the New England states, or if you're looking at clear skies near the mountain ranges and the Rocky Mountains and the West Coast, we're glad to have you here tonight. Practice currently ongoing as everyone gets ready to move here tonight. Josh Sosi currently top of the board, just now leaving pit lane. '81 car looking phenomenal here tonight. But there are some new names to the HTL National Series, as one would expect from the HTL Carousel. Sosi and Durand, we've seen them before. New to the party for Darlington is HTL Cup Series winningest driver, Caitlin Height. Caitlin Height filling in for the 31 car tonight, just behind. There you see the 31. Coming up the turns with this difficult track. Caitlin Height missed the race on Monday. Doesn't race in the Tuesday Hammer Down Truck Series. So this is Caitlin Height's first time on track. Someone who's been in HTL competition before, raced this race on Monday. DJ Trout filling in for Selena Thompson. Thompson currently dealing with power outages at the moment. So DJ Trout filling in the number 12 machine. Josh Gaiman goes 5th fastest, just up ahead. 61 Castrol Toyota Camry. Advancing in position, John Hagan in the 85 machine, currently 4th fastest, and will pull out of the way here. A lot of drivers we have seen before, but some new faces, some new names coming into the series here tonight. There's the 14 being driven by Chris Justice. Seen him once already, but we'll see him again this time in a less hectic environment here at Daytona. Another newcomer, Jonathan Cogswell, in the 27 Ford Mustang here tonight, making his HTL debut. I believe he is the only debutant completely to HTL tonight out of 29 cars. We had 32 last time out at Daytona. 29 tonight, keeping consistency going here this evening. Business will be picking up here. It's been a wild week so far. I know it'll continue to be so. Tomorrow we have Inter 2003 action for the ABN creative community. Sunday, it is the ARC's A Square Cup Series draft for the second year in running. Next Monday, the HTL Cup Series heads to Talladega. It's Dega week, everybody, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Of course, a couple weeks' time, we'll see the start of the ABN Champ Car World Series season, Monday, January 24th, right here on ABN Esports 1. Several cars here. That's the 31 of Caitlin Height, the 48 of Caleb Carter, filling in for Olivia Hammond. And then you have the 2 car of John McIntyre. Huge cluster activity here in practice. The 48 of Carter, tagging the wall after getting passed by Caitlin Height. And Carter's in a practice, getting off track here. Was already way too late there for pit entry, but away we go. Important weekend for racing for many iRacers, between HTL drivers participating here tonight at Darlington, the Roar before the 24. So if you're a sports car fan, if you're an open wheel fan, if you're a stock car fan, there's plenty to enjoy here the second week of January in 2024. So she's still top of the board. Running aboard Josh Sessi. Close call there down the back straightaway. This will show you a bit of how tricky Darlington is. It looks very wide because it is really wide, but there's not a lot of racing surface, especially going into the corners here. Only 3 lanes really of pavement designed for racing. Pushes the entire field up near the top of the track. And it is tricky all the way through. A very aged surface here at Darlington Raceway. Cars wrecking down the front straight, down the back straightaway, I should say. That's the 14 of Chris Justice, who just got passed by Susie. Important difference there already between the Gen 6s that we see tonight and the Gen 7s we saw on Monday. Way smaller spoiler on these cars. Helmet on board cam here of Josh Susie. See if hooking low there on the exit of turn 4. Approaching the 27 of Jonathan Cogswell. As more cars get ready to take part here in this event, still waiting on only 1 car to make his way in, and that is Blake Henderson. There's 3 of Callie Height. Second appearance in the HTL National Series. Only 19th fastest at a very difficult track. And Callie's really only been able to learn this weekend. So 19th behind Dylan McDonald. He was just behind her on track. seeing some major differences in how everything is behaving so far. On Monday, everyone was very touchy out of turn 2 and turn 4, wanted to snap loose. These cars seem a little bit tight out of 4. Wanting to try to sort of just drift out with the front of the car. Doesn't seem to have that front end bite that it wants to turn in on the X's of the corners when the corners unload here. McDonald actually just gets it loose there out of 2 on his own. And everyone will scramble on the back straightaway. But largely it's been front end impact causing a lot of the spins there. 42 Mark Parkhurst for Premier Racing Club. We'll see him on Wednesday nights here beginning on the 24th as he brings that team towards the ABN Champ Car World Series. Up near the front of the field, Lily Peltier Sharp in the 18 has moved into the top 5. Peltier Sharp doing an outstanding job at the moment. Time-wise, now 6th place behind Caitlin Height. Caitlin Height moved up to 3rd. It's Sharp and then Connor Morris. Caitlin Height, Connor Morris, young driver now racing for Carolina Beagle Racing, who has found himself in some hot water as of late. Currently sitting 7th fastest at the moment. Just on the eye of a couple teams. Morse did a fantastic job at Daytona a week ago. Blake Henderson, the missing link so far in the timesheets, has added a time to the board. 16th fastest is his lap. He was a top 10 runner at this track on Monday. Looking to do so again here tonight as he reset to pit lane. Last car running time-wise is John McIntyre, who we see struggle there on the back straightaway, exiting turn 2. Cars exiting pit lane, Caitlin Height and Lily Peltier Sharp all exiting pit lane at the moment. And they'll exit in front of Connor Morris. Again, practice winding down, less than 4 minutes left in practice, and then we'll see qualifying take form as everyone contends for pole position for the 2nd time this season. One race down with Daytona last week, 9 to go with Darlington tonight. Chance to form some history in the HTL National Series in its inaugural season. Sharp on track is just moved up a spot into 6th in the timesheets. Josh Gateman, the next car ahead in that 61 Toyota. Gateman looking for a better result tonight than what he had on Monday. He's currently 5th fastest at the moment. And then the wall he goes here. That's going to be tough. And a spin out of 4. Once again, drifted a little bit tight there, tagged the wall, and then came to a spin. DJ Trout on track into the top 10 at the moment as well, sitting 8th fastest. With less than 2 minutes left to go. Mark Parker's just went 5th fastest. Fantastic job for him. See what Nathan Estep can do in the 33. More cars exiting pit lane as Chris Justice coming to a spinning stop there in the middle of turns 1 and 2. Most cars pulling it off track here with a minute left to go. Jeremy Bailey, 32 car on track right now. I'll see what he can do right now. He's going 23rd in the timesheets. And he will struggle, but keep it pointed in the right direction at a 4. Likewise, another driver who's struggling a little bit so far to get everything put together is John Bawada. 51 machine. Just ahead of Height and Gaiman there. Gaiman letting it all hang out at the end of practice. Practice is almost concluded, so we'll take a second to recharge and refresh before qualifying gets underway. Pole qualifying for the Darlington 150 coming right up. Qualifying set to be underway here imminently. One of the first cars getting on track will be, looks like the 94 of Rhett Balzer. Several cars getting on track. Balzer, Mongol, Parkhurst, Hagen, Cogswell, Gaiman, Sasek, Morrison, Justice all on track at the moment. To kick things off here in qualifying, it will be a frantic 5-minute session here. Balzer begins his run. Looking at Rhett Balzer through turns 3 and 4. Pointed in straight for home. Mongold sets the time first. Sasek goes fastest, Balzer third. Caitlin Height up next. Caitlin Height across the line goes 5th fastest as more cars set times. Steven Overstat next up to cross the line. Race winner at Daytona last time out goes 13th fastest behind Callie Height. Jacob Schengel in the wall on his run. His run's going to come to a screeching halt. The 52 car will not set a lap time in this session. Out comes the 24 of David Duran Jr. Duran set to start his lap now, as well as Lily Pelletier-Sharp. Durand across the line here. What time does he set? Enough for third place. From one driver just finishing a run to another driver just beginning a run. Blake Henderson with less than 100 seconds left in the session. Has time to set exactly one lap, and that's what he's going to do. Louis Peltier Sharp, 111th fastest. On track now, Josh Sosi, Richard Ode, and Blake Henderson. Henderson in the 25, just now beginning his run. Pretty sharp there coming out of turn 2. Can he hold on to it here through 3 and 4? Several drivers yet to set a time. They will start from the back of the field here. If they don't set a time, Henderson across the line, 10th fastest. Josh Susi. Up next, the 81 car. Three-time race winner in the HTL Cup Series. Drifts out and he will not set a time. He'll slide backwards across the line and invalidated. Dylan McDonald leaving pit lane to start a lap. He will not have enough time to complete this run. 20 cars will set a lap time to get things going here at Darlington. McDonald's going to run out of time on the back straightaway. He will be one of several, one of 9 starting near the back of the field, having not set a time in qualifying. Now it's showtime here as everyone gets ready to go. John Hagan on pole position. HTL Truck Series race winner. Still looking for his first race win in either the National Series or the Cup Series. It seemed like he was a restart away from winning in the National Series last weekend. Ended up being Steven Oberstadt's night. John Hagan will be at the front of the field tonight. Josh Gaiman in the second position. They will lead this field to green here this evening. A fantastic job for both of them as everything gets ready to go here. Second row, Mark Parkhurst and David Durand, they make up row 2. Fantastic effort for both Durand and Parkhurst here at Darlington to get things started in qualifying. Caitlin Height and Eli Sasek in row number 3. Be interesting to see how those two get along here. Caitlin Height's first race at Darlington this week comes at the end of the week. We'll see how she fares starting in 6th position here tonight. Row 4 is Connor Morrison, Nathan Estep, Morrison 7th, Estep in 8th. We'll see how they fare here tonight. Morris did not have a great race on Monday. Rounding out the top 10, DJ Trout and Blake Henderson, a couple drivers with mixed fortunes on Monday. What can they do here tonight to end the season on a high note? We'll find out at the end of 110 laps. Chris Justice and Alyssa Peltier Sharp in row number 6. That's the top 12. And further down the order we go, Caleb Carter and Austin Mongold in row 7. Row 8 is where you'll find Ruby Estes and Callie Height. Both those drivers looking to move forward here. Ruby Estes making her debut in the series tonight. Row 9, Steven Oberstadt, the race winner from Daytona a week ago, and Richard Odie in the 78. Rounding out the top 18, the top 20, the last of those that set lap times, it's Rhett Balzer and Jonathan Cogswell. Row 11, the first of those that did not set a time, Josh Susi and James Jones make up row 11. Row 12 is Dylan McDonald and Angel Santiago. McDonald returning to full-time competition last week at Daytona for the HTL National Series. Second race in a row competing here tonight. He'll start from 23rd, Santiago in 24th. 25th and 26th, it's John Bawada and Jeremy Bailey in row 13. Row 14, the penultimate row in the field. It's John McIntyre and Chris Pindell. Final row of the field, it is the 52 of Jacob Shangle on his own to round out this 29-car field tonight. Got 110 laps, or what await these drivers here at Darlington. As we get ready to go. One more lap to green here at Darlington. 29 cars, 110 laps, 150 miles. No stage breaks in between. You gotta race it out for a race win and try to make some magic happen here at the track. Too tough to tame. Race 2 of 10 in the HTL National Series season here from South Carolina. Daytona was a blast. This track, always challenging, always tricky. It's either a dream or a nightmare, depending on the type of driver you are. And there's never been an in-between. Some drivers, this is a track they've highlighted. For others, they're looking towards next week already in Chicagoland. But it's 150 miles set to determine the next stanza in the season. It's Hagan and Game in front of the field, a very familiar front row here at Darlington. Green flag is in the air and away we go. And already trouble. Caution's already out, and that was near the front of the field. Several cars involved. So we'll end up with a very quick caution here to get things started off at Darlington. And that was very early on the restart. As everyone tries to go through here, this was up near the front of the field. I think this was in row 2. I think this was either with Connor Morse or David Durand. Oh, that was a lot of wheel spin in row 3, both Morris and Parkhurst. Ending up on the wrong side of things there. A lot of wheel spin there. Again, that's the 8 of Connor Morris there in that number 8 machine. See if we can pull out our little highlighter here. And we're looking down near the bottom of the screen here. It's going to be right there is where Connor Morris and Mark Parkhurst are. And yeah, we're going to play this in slow motion here because it is very difficult here. A lot of wheel spin. This is a good angle right here. This is of the 8, and it looks like the 31, maybe? Now, Caitlin Height gets a good launch. Parkhurst does not. The Welsh's number 42 machine. And Morris just doesn't ever get it gripped up at all. Outside lanes checked up. Everyone trying that first gear start. And then Morris already on his way towards the outside wall. Little neck code, little latency grabbing. The 42 of Parkhurst, who gets it cleared. And it's the 12 of DJ Trout, who comes right back out in front of the field. Same with the 14 of Chris Justice. Henderson, does he get away with this one? Just barely. 29 Austin Mongol, not so fortunate. Callie Height gets clear with that. 27 of Cogswell did not have such a great time. Richard Odie did get a good job clearing all of that. Chris Justice will try to get caught back up here and ready to go for this restart, a very early restart in this race. Hagan and Gaiman will once again be at the front of the field. Hagan chose the outside lane this time, was on the inside on the initial start. He'll put Gaiman on the inside lane. Row 2 will then be David Durant Jr. and Kalen Height. Mark Parkhurst and the 33 Nathan Estep in row number 3. Row 4 is the 48 Caleb Carter and Blake Henderson. Morse recovering to the top 10 in 9th place alongside Ruby Estes. Get us started on this restart. Again, an early caution on the opening lap of this race. We'll try it again. Pace car is in pit lane. It's a roll to the restart zone between Hagan and Gaiman, who once again lead us to the green. Green flag is back out and away we go. And once again, a bad start there by Josh Gaiman is going to let Kalen Height pull level. Teammates in the Cup Series, not tonight. Kalen Height goes through for second place. Henderson in the wall. Trying to battle with Mark Parkhurst. And caution's out again. Further in the back. Oh, that's a huge crash. Half a dozen cars minimum. Wadded up in turns 3 and 4. Susi, McIntyre. Balzer, Santiago, James, Jones. And that front end of the 81 is all torn up. It's another quick caution on the opening stanza of this race. This is going into turn 3. You already see that things are already not looking so hot for Josh Susi. A little bit of a checkup there into turn 3. A little bit of help around. And it is Calamity Corner. Peltier Sharp involved. A lot of cars just trying to navigate the chaos, and it looks like there might be a couple cars out of this race pretty quickly if things keep going the way they are. This is further down the order as well. Getting over half a dozen cars involved in that. Josh Susi, one of those involved with significant damage repairs. Has a fast repair, luckily. Able to get bailed out of this one. But that's it. Josh Susi, you end up restarting this race in the 24th position as things currently run at the moment. Looks like more cars coming in the pit lane. Jacob Shangle, James Jones, and Chris Pendell will all come down pit lane one more time. Been very quick back-to-back cautions here at Darlington to start this race off. It is John Hagan leading the way over Caitlin Height and Josh Gaiman. Very familiar top three for those that watch on Monday nights. E-Step in fourth, Durand and Henderson top six. Will be the first three rows when we get to this restart. Coming to the restart, John Hagan and Caitlin Height will be on the front row. It's Josh Gaiman, Nathan Eastep in row 2. Row 3, Blake Henderson and David Durand Jr. Row 4, Connor Morris and the 42 of Mark Parkhurst. Row 5, we'll have Caleb Carter in it. As the pace car pulls down pit lane. Second attempt at a restart here in this race. Green flag back in the air and away we go. Henderson really loose there. Trouble for Henderson. He's going to keep it off the wall and out of harm's way, but he'll drop all the way to the back of the field. Full lap running already. John Hagan's opened up a 7/10 advantage over Caitlin Height and Nathan Eastep. Josh Gaiman's dropped down to fourth. These are two quick consecutive restarts. We now have some laps being logged here. Eastep loose between turns 1 and 2. Still loose, finding that car out of turn 2. And cautioned up for the third time. Trouble between Jeremy Bailey and Austin Mongold at 3 and 4. See what happened here between 29 of Mongold and the 32 of Jeremy Bailey. This is entering turn 3. And then we can kind of see a little bit of the of what triggers this contact here. A little wiggle there. Mongold tags the wall on his own volition there. Tags the wall, comes right back into 32. And that finishes the job from there. But that's why the caution comes out for the third time. So Mongo in pit lane. Same with Chris Justice, Richard Odie, Blake Henderson, James Jones, Jeremy Bailey. 29 cars started this race. 29 cars all still running. One car a lap down though already after having to take repairs. It's Rep Balzer in the 94. So Hagan will have to do another restart here. Try to take advantage of this race. First 15 laps of Bennett crawl behind the pace car for the most part, minus 3 laps under green. All 29 cars still running. With the rate we're having these incidents in, I won't imagine it would not be long until we start seeing some retirements from this race. Cylinder caution here for the 3rd time tonight for an incident involving Austin Mongold and Jeremy Bailey. Seasons with 28 cars on the lead lap, 1 car, 1 lap down. Coming to this 3rd restart of the race, it's John Hagan and Kalen Height, Josh Gaiman and Nathan Estep. That's your top 4. David Duran Jr. and Rubiesta's top 6. The pace car pulled into pit lane. Approaching the restart zone. Green flag back in the air, and away we go. Hagan leading the way. Height, Gaiman, E-step, single file behind. Everyone trying to get sorted through. Kalen Height staying right there on the bumper of the 85. Top 3 beginning to break away just a little bit as E-step tags the wall just a smidge. beginning to once again find a rhythm here. All the way throughout the field. Had 3 cautions back to back, and now I think everyone's beginning to find that groove here a little bit. Try to log in some laps. E-Step gets a little loose there out of turn 2. It'll drop 2 spots for his effort behind Estes and Durand. Parker's up next in the 42 as Durand takes on Estes. Gets hit number 99 and the 24 make a little bit of contact in turn number 1 and 2. But a really good save as E-Step and Parker swap positions. A little bit further down now, the melee begins once again. All of it's behind Connor Morris, Sasek, Carter, Overstep, McDonald, E-Step trying to find his place in line. And E-Step will come down pit lane, it looks like, with how things currently run. A little bit of pandemonium in the mid-pack. Side by side, it's Morris and Sasek. Sasek on the inside lane, Morris in the 8 on the outside lane. Will get squeezed out of space and will lose a spot as they both now attack Callie Height. Height, as high as she's been, running in the 8th position now, stays ahead of Connor Morris. Josh Susi on his way back forward in the 81. Keep an eye on him further back. A little bit further forward, it's Estes, Durand, and Parkhurst battling for the 4th spot as the podium walked away. Durand takes 4th from Estes. Parkhurst will try to do the same for 5th. Sass has gotten clear of Callie Height. And trouble, Overstep. Hard into the inside wall. Cautioned out for the 4th time tonight. And that is significant damage for the 88. Huge incident there for Stephen Overstep, the race winner from Daytona. A lot of front end damage on that Carolina Beagle racing machine. Puts us under caution for the 4th time tonight. It was all out of turn 4. Just a little bit of contact on the outside walls. He drifted out a little bit tight there in traffic. And it is a nasty impact as a result. Right on board with Overstep. Just a little bit of contact there, pushes the car to the inside wall. An immediate slam. We're right on board. This is just behind Stephen Overstep. On board with Dylan McDonald. McDonald helps situate that just a little bit. Stephen Overstep in pit lane, getting repairs taken care of here. But Balls are still a lap down. Has not gotten the free pass here, interestingly enough. Still remains 1 lap down at the moment. Pit stops underway. Blake Henderson will inherit the race lead here, ahead of Jeremy Bailey and John Hagan. Henderson last pit on lap 14, same with Jeremy Bailey. Everyone else came in under this last pit stop, but the front two will stay out. Blake Henderson choosing the outside lane for this restart. His first in control of the field. Choosing an interesting strategy call with Jeremy Bailey to try to flip the script a little bit. It's Henderson, Bailey, Hagan, Gaiman, Height, Durand, Estes, Morris. Then Callie Height, Kaylin Height up in the top 5. Then Parkhurst in the top 10. Almost time for another restart. Fourth one of the night. Green flag in the air and away we go. And it was a giant grandstand start for Blake Henderson. Jeremy Bailey did not get going in the slightest. So Josh Gaiman benefits from that greatly. As Sean Hagan now has to deal with traffic, same with David Durand Jr. and Kaylin Height, who's got to deal with the driver Connor Morris to her inside. Estes, Callie Height just behind. Henderson out front. Gaiman still in second place. Hagan trying to get around Jeremy Bailey. As Gaiman looks for the race lead around Blake Henderson. Gaiman to the inside, entering turns 1 and 2. Henderson holds on to the race lead, and Hagan now in third. Durand to fourth. Bailey's already dropped out of the top 5. Morris at 5th. Durand looking to try to make a pass there on Hagan, not close enough though, entering 3 and 4. As Henderson continues to hold on to the race lead. Trouble, cars in the wall. That's a huge incident. Kaylin Height's involved. Mark Parkhurst is involved. 5th of the night, and it's a big one in the front of the field. Caleb Carter involved. There's Chris Pendell getting through. Looks like Santiago got a piece of it as well. But a huge crash entering turn 22. Fifth caution of the night. And it's once again the start-stop procedure of this race that'll disrupt things just a little bit more. And this is up near the front of the field. Let's go to the chopper cam and see what happens here. This is between Kaylin Height and Jeremy Bailey. What happens here entering turns 1 and 2? Bailey just tries turning in a little bit too early. Turn and just straight up hooks Kaylin Height right there. 42 of Parkhurst involved, 38 McDonald. Sosi involved again. There's the 48 of Caleb Carter. whole bunch of trucks involved. DJ Trout came to a stop there. Santiago definitely got a piece of it as well. I believe John Bawaldo got a piece of it in that 51 machine. We're right on board with Bawaldo here, because he's going to have a grandstand view of all of this. He was one of the last ones on the scene here. And he sees it early here. Yellow's out, and you see the smoke. Bawaldo trying to avoid a landmine that developed on the apron there. And this is from Caitlin Height's perspective. On board with the 31 machine. And she's going to watch all these cars get involved and collected in that. There's the 12 DJ Trout. Best time for so many cars as those start at the front of the field in the top 5. On board with Josh Susie, another Lady Liberty Motorsports car involved. Early going here. It's nothing Susie can do, trying to lock it up on the brakes there. He's going to get clobbered there by both Trout and Mongold. Some more damage for the 81. Last but not least, on board Jeremy Bailey's machine. Hard impact there, right to the left front. Got another shot there by DJ Trout. And that is a dead car right there. Chris Bendel will try to make his way forward here a little bit. Blake Henderson remains at the front of the field. So it's going to be Blake Henderson, then Josh Gaiman, John Hagan, David Duran Jr., Connor Morris, Ruby Estes, Callie Height, Dylan McDonald, Eli Sassick, and Jonathan Cogswell, top 10. As you saw Chris Justice, the 14, slide to the bottom of the track to let the leaders go through. Lap down cars go to the back of the field on these restarts. Lead lap cars at the front of the field. 2 by 2 they go. And we're beginning to see some of the attrition in this race. Jimmy Bailey in pit lane still. Rep Balzer still off the lead lap and involved in that last incident there, the 94. Josh Susie now a lap down. Chris Justice, Mark Parkhurst, Austin Mongold back up pit lane as well. 23 cars on the lead lap. We've had 5 cautions so far in this race. Attrition rate coming into form here. We had 8 the entirety of Daytona a week ago. It is Henderson, Gaiman, front row. Let's get ready to go here on the 5th restart of the race. Green flag is in the air and away we go. And Henderson once again a fantastic restart. Gaiman managed to stay in tow enough to get the 2nd place still. Then it's Hagan and Rand. As everyone tries to get sorted out here further back. A little bit sideways, Peltier Sharp was. Trying to get around the 33 at each step. 3 and 4 there for them. Peltier Sharp in the 18 machine, sitting just outside the top 10 in 12th position at the moment as things currently stand. Henderson continues to lead this race, but it is line astern in the top 6 cars. All of them behind the 25. Out of 4. to complete lap 40. 70 laps to go. Running around turns 1 and 2. 6 cars, all line astern from Henderson to Estes. Henderson, and trouble behind. Callie Height. And another big incident there. Nathan Estep involved. Some significant damage on the 3 car. Caution number 6 coming up. Let's look at what happened here. Couple of incidents happening simultaneously. Henderson tags the wall first, but the incident that causes the caution is between Callie Height and I believe that's Dylan McDonald. In that 38 machine, a little bit of contact there. McDonald once again involved in an incident there, and he's not so fortunate there. Estep gets tagged by Height, and everyone else scrambles. See if we can ride on board with the 33 of Estep. This is on board. That's the incident's already occurred here. Callie Height just loses a little bit of traction there after trying to recover that incident with McDonald. Wild impact there with Nathan Estep. This is on board with Callie Height. We'll have to back it up here just a second. Side by side with McDonald. Yeah, just kind of just off the racetrack there in front of McDonald. Significant, biggest impact there is with Estep. That's where most of the damage comes from for Callie Height. And now both of them have to get some damage repairs done. Callie Height and pit lane still to get that damage repaired. Josh Gaiman at the front of the field with Henderson coming down pit lane now to get some more fresh tires. Into the 6th restart of the night. It's Josh Gaiman leading David Duran Jr., Connor Morris, Ruby Estes, John Hagan, Eli Sasek in the top 6. Jonathan Cogswell in the 7th position. Lily Paultier Sharp in row 4 as well. John McIntyre and John Bawala round out the top 10. Attrition rate begins here at Darlington as more and more cars fall behind. Pace car is in pit lane. As they approach the restart zone, Josh Gaiman's got it in control. Green flag in the air, and away we go. And already, another quick caution. Both Callie and Caitlin Height looks like they're involved in that one. It looks like it starts a little bit before that. It does start before that. It starts with Angel Santiago in the 90. Not ideal for the 90 car of Angel Santiago. Silver car, but alongside the 12 of DJ Trout. Looks like wheel spin is going to really have an effect here. Santiago just does not go. Gets turned. Ooh, huge impact there, and multiple cars involved. There is a dozen cars in that one. There's Pendel. There's the 14 of Chris Justice, 78 of Richard Odie, 32 of Jeremy Bailey, Callie Height, Caitlin Height, Angel Santiago all involved. It's not going to be a pleasant experience. We're going to ride on board with Caitlin Height and see her perspective because she got a piece of this as well. This is not going to be pleasant. This is on board with Richard Odie, the 78 machine. On this restart, he's going to have a very difficult hit there with Callie Height. He takes it easy. Whoop, nowhere to go. And he gets tagged and just smashes the front of Callie Height's car as Callie already bounces and rebounds off that wall. Callie Height leading pit lane here, trying to stay on the lead lap. There is Josh Gaiman, the race leader. As car is trying to beat the pace car off pit lane. Callie Height will not be one of them. Actually, looked like just barely Callie Height did. That was the car bottom of your screen. Josh Gaiman in front of the field, leading David Duran Jr. Sixth caution here tonight. We had 8 cautions all of last week at Daytona. Across 200 miles. In less than half of that, we've almost matched it here tonight. Approaching lap 50 of 110. 61 laps to go. 60 laps to go when we see the green flag once again. And what has been a stop-start affair so far in this race. Several different race leaders. John Hagan, Blake Henderson, and now Josh Gaiman lead the way. It's the surprising names outside the lead that should be catching attention. Ruby Estes, David Duran Jr., Eli Sasek, all in this mix, as is Mark Parkhurst, Louis Peltier Sharp, John Hagan, John Bawalda in the top 10, and John McIntyre. But Josh Kamen looking to correct the wrongs of Monday night. A long way to go, coming to 60 laps to go here at Darlington. It's Gaiman and Duran leading the field to green to the restart zone. Green flag is in the air and away we go. Everyone trying to sort their way through. Blake Henderson already trying to get his way through as well. Sit himself ahead of Jacob Shangle. And caution further behind, Dylan McDonald. All torn up, that 38 car. Made that caution number 7 on the night. What happens to Dylan McDonald? See if we can get a good angle of it. This is to the inside of the 27 of Jonathan Cogswell and the 52 of Jacob Shangle. What happens here? Does one of them get loose on the outside, or does McDonald just drift up in front? In slow motion here as they come out of turn 2. McDonald drifts up, checks himself off the quarter panel of Shangle, and look out for this one. Violent impact to the inside safer barrier. Recalls that car all the way across the racetrack once again. Kalen Heights sneaks through. Parkhurst, does he get through? Yes, he'll pivot to the left lanes to get through there. Single car incident, but a vicious crash. It's right on board with Dylan McDonald. Ooh, violent impact there, and you hear the engine let go for Dylan McDonald's machine. As everyone tries to get away around, McDonald's race is going to end pretty early here. And McDonald's day is officially done. He will be the first official retirement in this race. Josh Gaiman continues to lead the way. Center of your screen right there, the 61. It's the 61 of Josh Gaiman and the 24 of David Duran Jr. Not much has changed in the top 10. Connor Morris, Ruby Estes, John Hagan, Eli Sasek, Louis Peltier Sharp, John McIntyre, DJ Trout, and John Bawalda in the top 10. A lot of the changes have happened outside the top 10, with Caleb Carter, Stephen Oberstadt, and Blake Henderson moving positions there. Jacob Shangle and Jonathan Cogswell both benefiting from McDonald's retirement here, as would everyone behind Cogswell: Justice, Callie Hype, Mark Parkhurst, Richard Odie, Angel Santiago, James Jones, Josh Susi, Austin Mongold, Chris Pendell. Now the 24th car on lead lap. He was the free pass recipient here tonight on the 7th caution of the night. Next car in line for the free pass would be Nathan Estep if an 8th caution comes out here imminently. Looking from high above the spotter's cam, above the broadcast booth here at Darlington Raceway. We've had 7 cautions in 54 laps. And a reminder stat for the stat nerds and the statisticians: in that are watching around the world. We had 8 cautions across 200 miles. We have reached the halfway point in this race. We have reached 75 miles, and we are at 7 cautions already. It is Gaiman, Durand, Morris, Estes, your top 4, Hagan and Sasek, top 6. It is going to be all eyes at the front of the field for the 7th restart tonight. What has been a challenging and difficult race, as many expected. A lot of drivers not present Monday or Tuesday night to practice this track. And those that were here are still struggling. Pace car pulls down pit lane. To the restart zone, green flag in the air, and away we go. Green flag in the air. Morris gets around Durand for 2nd place. Durand and Hagan. Hagan just sent Durand in the corner. But Durand held his nerve, held on to 3rd. Trouble further behind. That was John Bawada and Stephen Oberstadt involved. Trouble for both of them early on. It's off the racing surface. We will stay green, and there's Josh Gaiman back at the front of the field. Single file for the first several cars. Connor Morris looking for the race lead if he can grab a hold of it. And caution's out for Chris Justice and Jeremy Bailey. And that's another really torn up race car. Huge incident here. And that is a car that is not able to turn very well at all. Stephen Oberstadt there in the 88 got back rolling, as did John Bawada. This is not going to be a pleasant incident. This is with the 14 of Chris Justice and the 48 of Caleb Carter. Oh, Carter just tags the wall big time and sends Chris Justice straight to the inside. Oh, and Jeremy Bailey. Wow, that is a hard hit for Jeremy Bailey. That is a vicious impact. Caleb Carter got tight there. And Chris Justice bounced off of him. And then Jeremy Bailey just got hooked. This is not going to be a pleasant experience. Riding on board. We'll go helmet cam. He gets tagged hard here. Oh, he gets pushed from behind and sent. And that is going to be curtains for the 32 at Jeremy Bailey. On board with Chris Justice. Keep an eye on Caleb Carter there, the F40 on the outside lane. Filling in for Olivia Hammond. And the 14 of Chris Justice just slammed there. And you saw a brief flash of Jeremy Bailey as he got turned. And came to a complete stop just on the back straightaway there. Let's see what happened to John McIntyre, the 2 machine. Oh, he just slides it here, coming to a stop, keeps it off the wall, just trying to avoid the melee. So several cars in pit lane. Chris Justice now going through extended repairs. And now Blake Henderson back up on the front. Henderson and Cogswell and Tyndall will make this very interesting. Ready to come to green here for the 8th restart of the night. Equal the amount of cautions from Monday's race at Daytona. With about 46 laps to spare. Pace car pulls in. Henderson, Cogswell, Gaiman, Pendel, Duran, Morris, Hagan, Estes, Sasek, and Sharp. Top 10. To the restart zone we go. 8th restart of the night is green. Trouble McIntyre, trouble Pendel. Multiple crashes, oh my goodness. Almost a flip for the 29 of Austin Mongold, and they're still crashing. Santiago Shangle gets turned off of Chris Pendel. And they are still crashing down the back straightaway into turn 3 and 4. Make that caution number 9 on the night. And another big one. So we'll take a look at this restart. Bunch of cars involved in this one. And this starts well down the back straightaway with John McIntyre, who I think largely does a good job to save this car. Gets loose, still loose, locks it down, keeps it out of the way of everybody else. It's the crash in front that is a nightmare to deal with. Looking here, this is just behind Chris Pindell. Pindell. Yeah, he just tries moving across the nose of Peltier Sharp into Peltier Sharp's lane. Peltier Sharp gets turned. Sassett gets turned by DJ Trout. Trying to break all of this down the best we can. Pindell gets clobbered. There's Mongold and Caleb Carr in the 48. Santiago clips the 90, or clips the 48 of Caleb Carter. Pindell gets loose. I don't know if he gets loose or just grips up there all of a sudden and tags Shangle, who gets clobbered by Santiago. He was unsighted. Chris Pindell missing an entire rear bumper on that number 6 machine. Coming to the restart here. Coming to 41 laps to go. I said at the opening of the broadcast that this was going to be either a race that everyone had circled and adored, or a race that everyone considered a nightmare and everyone would be trying to look to get through. Then you can kind of figure out who's where on that one. It's Henderson and Game in front of the field. Cogswell and Durand in row 2. Morris and Estes row 3. 8th restart of the night. Here we go. 9th restart, excuse me, on lap 70. And away we go. Everyone fanning out on the back straightaway once again, trying to find some clean real estate at the front of the field. It's Henderson, Gaiman, and Durand. Estes losing out big time in the 99. Everyone trying to find some leeway here. Buwalda just outside the top 10 behind Mark Parkhurst, who's made his way back in to the top 10. Sitting in 10th, the 42. Trying to find his way forward. He's behind Eli Sasek and Josh Cece. A lot of work to do 4 cars out of this race so far. John McIntyre, Chris Justice, Jeremy Bailey, and Dylan McDonald. The 4 retirements, and it is a shuffle further back, and that's why Callie Height and Caleb Carter. Trouble for them. And caution's out. That was Austin Mongold trying to get through. No, it wasn't Austin Mongold. Who was that trying to get through? It wasn't Rhett Balzer. Someone was trying to get through that melee. But trouble further back. 10th caution of the night coming up after a caution between Caleb Carter and Callie Height. Here's what happened. Out of turn 2, once again, problem corner. And we've seen Caleb Carter get really tight out of turn 2 already. Kaylin Height also involved 31. 3 cars in this incident, but the caution comes out because Caleb Carter comes to a complete stop right on the back straightaway. If he had stayed below the white hash marks, it wouldn't have been a caution. The caution comes out here for the 10th time tonight. And for Carter, this is his 3rd incident being involved or the cause of. So he is not having a good night filling in for Olivia Hammond. Blake Henderson at the front of the field continues to lead the way, but it's caution number 10 on lap 74 here at Darlington tonight. Getting ready for the 10th restart of the night. It's Henderson and Game in front of the field. Morrison and Durand in row 2. DJ Trout's made his way into row 3. He's alongside Josh Susi. Eli Sasek, Mark Parkhurst, John Bawada, and Nathan Eastep round out the top 10. Pace car pulls in for the 10th restart of the night. It's Blake Henderson's control. 25 out front once again. Green flag back in the air and away we go. Henderson leads the way. Oh, in trouble further back. Austin Mongold. I believe that's Lily Pelletier, Sharp, and John Bawada also involved. Make that caution number 11. Here's what happened between Bawada and Pelletier Sharp. Once again, too wide out of turn 2. Hard impact there, the back of Bawada's car. Mongold not involved. He thought did it pretty good there, the 29. And then Bawada trying to rejoin. Chris Pendel's like, okay, well, I guess you're going to the outside. And then Bawada's like, nah, never mind. Caution number 11 now on lap 80 of 110 with 31 laps to go. Looks like we got a single file restart on our hands here. 11th restart, single file. Henderson leads the way, and away we go. Single file restart, it's not something we've seen in a while. We'll see how it pans out. Henderson leads the way. Morris quick to attack Josh Gaiman. Gaiman holds on to second place at the moment, but it's a mirror full of that 8 car for Josh Gaiman in the 61. Henderson leads the way on an alternate strategy from the rest of the field. Gaiman, Morris, Duran, Sosi, Trout, top 6, excuse me, Sasek 7th. Morris gets loose. Now he's under pressure from the 24 Duran as he tries to attack the 61 of Josh Gaiman. Gaiman stays in second place. And Morris has to regroup. Trouble further behind. And it's Santiago, and that is more trouble. That looks like Buwalda also involved in that. I'm not sure if Buwalda's the first one to spun or not. We'll go back and look at it. Actually, it looks like it may have been Caleb Carter the first one that spun, the 48. 12th caution of the night. Who's the first one to draw? And it's Hagan. It's actually John Hagan, the 85. That steps over himself here. Is it because of contact with the 99 Ruby Estes? And if so, who drew the contact? This is out of turns 3 and 4. And we're going to go to the chopper cam. Estes on the outside lane. Estes tags the wall just a little bit and comes back down and tags Hagan. So that is unfortunately a little bit on Estes there, as Estes tried to correct that car, that 99 machine, and Hagan's not going to have a fun ride. And then Santiago spins on his own accord. This is a completely different incident that causes a caution. And this is them trying to get around Caleb Carter, the 48. What happens here? Caleb Carter in the 48 checks up big time, and he also bounces off the wall a little bit and turns Santiago again. And it's the 45, James Jones, that is smacked and pancaked into the wall there. Santiago can't buy luck. If he had money in his pocket, he couldn't buy luck at this point. I believe we're on caution number 11 or number 12. Jonathan Cogswell stays out here, as will Caitlin Height, Lily Peltier Sharp, and Richard Odie. Richard Odie pin on lap 80. Lily Peltier Sharp pin on lap 79. Caitlin Height 76. Jonathan Cogswell lap 74. 79 for Buwalda and Pendel, who were not involved in that last caution, I should add. And then Henderson, everybody on down, just pin on lap 86. I believe this is caution number 11 of tonight. For an incident involving Angel Santiago, Caleb Carter, and James Jones. With a little side feature from the 85 of John Hagan as well. A little bit of latency, we apologize for the inconvenience there. Our production equipment also running a little bit long on the time window here. Last restart was a single file restart. This is actually number 12. This is caution number 12. I just got a correction there. This is restart number 12 coming up. And it looks like we'll be coming up on that restart on lap 90. Again, it is Jonathan Cogswell, then Caitlin Height, Lily Peltier Sharp, Richard Odie, Chris Pendel, top 5. Blake Henderson in 6th. And now Henderson's got some of the freshest tires on the field. He was doing fantastic without the fresh tire advantage. And now he's got it. The question now becomes, do we get enough green flag laps to see that advantage through? The betting odds do not look great. Likewise, Cogswell, what a way to start off his HTL career. Jumps in, debuts in the HTL National Series here at Darlington. Has had a back and forth day. But coming to 21 laps to go, leading the way ahead of HTL's winningest driver in Caitlin Height. Not a bad effort for the 27 car, who has survived a couple incidents on his own. It will be a single file restart once again. Peltier Sharp in 3rd behind Caitlin Height. Car weaving back and forth. That is the 4th place, Richard Odie. Then Chris Pendel, top 5. 6th place, Henderson. 7th place, Gaiman. 8th place, Durand. 9th place, Susie. 10th place, Parkhurst. Green flag back in the air for the 12th restart of the night. It's all eyes on the 27 of Jonathan Cogswell. Already a little bit of drama further back. Ruby Estes in the 99. Got a little loose there out of turns 1 and 2. Everyone once again trying to make their way through. Top 3 separating themselves from 4th on down. Peltier Sharp trying to hang in there with Cogswell and Caitlin Height. Henderson up to 5th ahead of Pendel. A little bit further back. You have Ruby Estes defending from John Hagan. This is on the front of the top 10. Estes in 12th, Hagan in 13th, Sasek in 11th. Side by side they go. It's Pendel and Gaiman. Henderson's quickly gotten around Richard Odie. So now he set sail as it is pandemonium further behind, 2 by 2. They'll sort themselves out a little bit. Pendel and Durand had to get out of the way there. Hagan to the inside of Eli Sasek. And it is pandemonium here outside the top 5. Richard Odie getting out of the way. Realized that was a fight he did not want to be involved in. He was not equipped to handle that fight. Side by side, 2 rows. A little bit loose there was Santiago in the 90. A little further back, Santiago in 14th. Pendel holding up Eli Sasek will let Hagan go through and up into 8th place. Positions 1, 2, and 3 very close together. Henderson trying to close in, will close in. Josh Gaiman in 5th. Trying to do the same. But Henderson now with the strongest car in the field. And time to make things happen. 15 laps to go here at Darlington. It has been a race of attrition. It has been a race of frustration here in South Carolina. The strategy calls once again giving us a good glimpse of what the finish of this race could be. Henderson trying to find a way around Peltier Sharp. And this is where it gets a lot tougher for Henderson. Trying to find a way around some of these cars. Feigned a move there and gets around, picks off Peltier Sharp. Really good move by Henderson. Phenomenal stuff by the 25 car. He's got a chance. But I think that's his last really easy pass here. He's got to get a really good run off of Caitlin Knight here. Peltier Sharp just checked up game and trying to block that 61 car. Henderson trying to find a way around 31 of Caitlin Knight. It's 27, and Jonathan Cogswell continues to lead the way as laps tick away. 12 laps to go. Henderson, a really good run once again out of turn 2, right to the bumper of Caitlin Knight. Henderson trying to find a way around. Caitlin Knight using up all the racetrack in the corners. Oh, Henderson gets loose. Pushing a little bit too hard there outside of turn 4, but keeps it put together. Peltier Sharp doing a really good job being the roadblock in front of Gaiman, Susie, and Hagen. Henderson's got to start picking off cars a little bit quicker. He's got to pick off 2 more if he wants a race win tonight. Can he do it? To the inside of the 31, entering turns 1 and 2, and caution's out. Gaiman's been turned. Henderson did not have the pass completed in time. And it is Josh Gaiman that is turned around to the wrong direction on the front straightaway. And he is not going to be enthusiastic about being the cause of the 13th caution of the night. What happened to car 61 on the front straightaway? This is going to be interesting. Woo, he's already loose. Did he have help out of the corner? He looks to the inside of Peltier Sharp. Peltier Sharp tries closing the door. He gets loose on his own. And then Josh Susie finishes him off there, and it's not really Susie's fault either. Susie, nowhere for him to go. Gaiman just trying to find a way around Peltier Sharp, who was blocking relentlessly. Trying to hold on to that top 5 position because she knew if Josh Gaiman got through, then Hagen, Susie, and Parkhurst were going to make their way through as well. So she was trying desperately to hold on to a top 5, and now unfortunately she's put herself in a position where she's going to inevitably lose that top 5 pretty easily on this next restart. Less than 10 laps to go in this race. Jonathan Cogswell leads the way over Caitlin Knight and Blake Henderson, who was so close to completing a pass on the 31. Was side by side with Caitlin Knight when that yellow came out. Just could not get ahead. And now we'll have less than 5 laps to go on this restart. Expecting pandemonium here. 33 V-Step gets the free pass, so he will get one of his laps back. I believe he will be back on the lead lap now officially. That gives us 22 cars on the lead lap. Several cars on pit lane. Gaiman, Mongold, Odie, and Santiago. The 4 cars on pit lane at the moment. Whether or not E-Step takes a pit stop for free is to be seen. E-Step will start at the back of the field no matter what. So let's run through the field a little bit. Let's go ahead and do that while we're under caution. Jonathan Cogswell, this is the highest he's run. Started this race in 20th, was as low as 27th after the second caution of the race. But now currently the race leader coming to the final laps of this race. Caitlin Knight has been in second place for the last several laps. Started this race in 6th, but has not led a lap in this race. Has been as low as 27th as well. And that was when her and Callie Height were both involved in a couple incidents in the midway of this race. Blake Henderson started top 10. Has led parts of this race, led 38 laps, one of the most laps led in this race, but has also had a share of being at the back of the field. It has been as low as 28th in this race. Lily Peltier Sharp in 4th position, has not been any higher than 3rd, and that was what she was out in the last restart. Now currently in 4th, is going to have to try to block a lot of drivers with a lot more experience than her. Started this race in 12th, has been as low as 24th, has not been incident-free by any means of the imagination. Let's see what the 18 car can do. John Hagan in 5th place, has been the lowest 20th. Started this race on pole, has led 26 laps in this race. But the door's closing on trying to get back to the front of the field with a lot of good cars in that top 3. Mark Parkhurst has not led a single lap in this race, has been as high as 4th, currently 6th, started 4th, as low as 28th. David Durand in the 7th position, car 24, has been as high as the runner-up spot. Started this race in 3rd in the 2nd row of the field, but has not been that far down the order, has not been any lower than 13th place here tonight. A good run so far by David Durand Jr. Eli Sasek in the number 9 machine, not loading up anything there. That's not great. Rubiestis has also been in the top 10 a decent amount of this race, has not been any lower than 16th, and that was on the initial start. Has been in the top 10 most of this race for Ascent Racing. The Ascent Racing cars, once again, having 2 cars in the top 10. Single file restart here for this restart as well. Steven Overstat in the top 10. This is the highest he's been tonight. The Daytona race winner had a very rough start of this race, was as low as 28, started 17th though. So he's made up some really good relay at the right time. 11th place, DJ Trout, car 12 in position 11, started 9th, as high as 5th, as low as 27th. Callie Height, it's been an up and down day for Callie Height in the 12th position. No laps led, has not been any higher than 7th place, started 16th, and has been as low as 24th in this race. James Jones has seen the gauntlet. 13th is as high as he's been so far in this race, but he's making his way up at the right time, as low as 28th, but started this race in 22nd position. That's the top 12 in a nutshell as we get ready to go back to racing. Coming to 5 laps to go in regulation for the Darlington 150. It's Cogswell, Height, Henderson, Sharp, top 4. Green flag in the air. A little over 6 miles left to play. Cogswell, really good start. Really good start by Caitlin Height as well. Not so great of a start there by Blake Henderson, but he's still got the tire advantage, and caution's out again. We're going to have a green, white, checkered finish. John Buwalda spun out on the inside lane, and that is in turns 1 and 2. It was going so well and went so poorly. And it looks like Richard Odie also involved in this, and Odie's had the tow. This is 51 John Buwalda, center of your screen, and oh, that's a hard hit by Odie. Josh Gaiman involved, and everyone's scrambling. That's a hard impact there. And Odie, I think that car came to a dead stop there. This is not going to be pleasant. We're right on board with Odie in the 78. Incident's already occurred here. He gets hooked. Oh, this is going to be interesting. Let's go back and look at this entire restart here. He hung back big time. Yeah, he sends it here. He hung back big time to get around Mongol, to get around Gaiman. And then went right below the yellow, the hash mark there. And a little bit of instant karma there. You're not supposed to hang back on those restarts. And that's exactly what Odie did to make passes early on that restart. A little bit of cosmic justice on behalf of the 78 of Richard Odie, removing any benefit Odie was going to have in this race. John Buwalda in pit lane, just getting some minor touch-ups there on the 51 machine. Cogswell continues to lead the way. So I guess we'll run down the next set of 12 cars, as it looks like that is... I forget who just got the lap. I believe that may have been Jacob Shangle. No, it was Rhett Balzer, I believe. They just got the free pass. The 94. All right, so let's talk about cars a little bit further down the order. We'll start with Connor Morris. Currently 14th, was runner-up at one point, has not led a lap in this race, but looked competitive at the initial first half of this race. Started 7th, has been as low as 18th. And that 18th position came on that last restart. He's already made up 4 spots in this race. But now we're entering the dying moments of this race, where we're going to have green, white, checkered attempts. We have 3 of them in this race. And we're going to see the first one here tonight. Austin Mongold in 15th place, has been as high as 13th, started 14th, but has been as low as 28th. About as average as you can be, the 29 car tonight. Nothing spectacular, nothing to write home about. Mongo trying to see if he can scavenge some spots here as pandemonium breaks out later on this restart. Angel Santiago, the man that couldn't buy luck if he had money in his pocket, has been as high as 11th, but has spent most of his time outside the top 20. Started 24th, has been as slow as 29th, dead last in this field. Currently 16th, but he's still running and he's on the lead lap. And sometimes that's all you need to make a good result happen at tracks like Darlington. Josh Gaiman, he's going to be disappointed. 20 laps led. Spent a lot of time in the lead of the race tonight, down in 17th. Has been as low as 21st. Started this race with the front row. I don't think there's going to be a lot you can do to redeem this race if you're Josh Gaiman, other than hope and pray that a huge incident at the front of the field causes a giant crash and gives you a chance to make up some ground. Jacob Shangle, kind of in similar position to Austin Mongold, has not been any higher than 13th position. Started this race in last place. So anything's really a positive there for Shangle, starting from the back of the field. Currently 18th spot, up 11 places from where he started. Nathan Estep, last car on lead lap, was the free pass recipient last time through. In 19th, was as high as 3rd. Started this race in 8th, but has been as low as 28th in this race. And then Rhett Balzer now only 1 lap down. He's in for another quick caution to be back on lead lap. He spent most of this race a lap down, as low as 29th. Started this race in 19th. He's currently 20th and has been as high as 14th in this race. But again, hoping for one more quick caution to get a free pass so he can be back on lead lap to take advantage of the chaos. Cars out of this race: Chris Pendell, Richard Odie, Josh Susi, Chris Justice, Caleb Carter, John McIntyre, Jamie Bailey, and Dylan McDonald all out of this race. John Bellotto on pit lane, still with a chance to come back. Pace car has the lights out. It's almost time they go back to racing. First attempt at a green-white checkered finish here at Darlington. Is Cogswell, Height, and Henderson, top 3 still. Green flag back in the air, and away we go. A little bit of wheel spin there for Lily Pelletier. Sharp will give Hagan a chance to get clear. But Pelletier Sharp will fight back on the outside lane, side by side. Through turn 2, danger corner. Pelletier Sharp holds her nerve there. But we know how aggressive Hagan can be. Hagan clips the inside there. Pelletier Sharp clips the wall. Coming to the white flag lap. 1 to go here at Darlington. Jonathan Cogswell on debut is a mile away from Pater. Pelletier Sharp in trouble. Falling back further. Who's going to give it a shot? Henderson trying to pull a Hail Melon. It does not work. He tags the wall hard. He'll drop off the podium. Cogswell wins over Heidenhagen. Well done, Jonathan Cogswell. Race winner at Darlington. Phenomenal stuff on debut. Cogswell is a winner in HTL in his very first race. And he's going to burn it down here. Well done, Jonathan Cogswell. Race winner on debut here tonight. An absolutely fantastic job by Jonathan Cogswell. Kalen Height second, John Hagan third, Blake Henderson in fourth. Then Parkhurst, Duran, Sharp, Estes, Sasek, and Oberstadt round out the top 10. Fantastic stuff here tonight. We'll interview our podium finishers here in just a moment. But what a drive by Jonathan Cogswell to make things happen here tonight. See if we can hear from podium finishers here. We'll start with second place. First driver available, Caitlin Height. Hear what she has to say about finishing second place, and obviously the race at large. It was an up and down day for her. Katie, this is Carmen from the ABN booth. You get a copy?
Yeah, I got you, Carmen.
What a race. Obviously second place after missing Monday's race. A good way to make up for it, but it was not easy for you. Started 6th, finished 2nd, but you were as low as the mid-20s. Walk us through this race for you, and obviously coming back to this Gen 6 for the first time in a long time.
To be honest, I'm going to try and make this as short as possible here. The racing, what very little there was, I mean, okay, but there was like a lot of crap from people that was absolutely unnecessary. A lot of excessive chatter, which I have a headache now, and good win to the 27. Thanks for Lady Liberty Motorsports for giving me a chance to fill in for Kevin Gibney Jr. Hopefully the second place finish does him proud and everyone else in the organization. I want to give a big shout out to you for putting on the broadcast and putting up with everyone's crap week in, week out. And shout out to the HTL admins and the work that they're going to have to do for this upcoming week and all the reviews of the cautions. And I am so ready to get out of here. Congrats to Jonathan on the win. Just me and him had the same strategy there. He just had the track position, and I was just getting too bad of an air push once I got right up behind him to really make a move. So, and the single file cautions really did not help the matters at all whatsoever. So good win to Jonathan, and yeah, that's about it.
Obviously, getting straight to the point there, Katie. Obviously, we'll see you again at Talladega, hopefully in 3 days' time. But Katie, obviously, congrats on the podium here tonight. Well earned for the number 31 crew, and have a good night and enjoy the podium.
All right, thank you, Carmen.
That was Caitlin Height, second place finisher here tonight. Move on to John Hagan, third place finisher here in the giant scheme of things here tonight. He did a fantastic job here in the HTL National Series. A third place finish for him. We'll hear from him next. John, this is Carmen from the ABN booth. You got a copy?
I do.
All righty. That was a very interesting race. Grabbing a podium when all seemed pretty well set in stone there on the last lap. Walk us through your race, because it was also not straightforward. You led 26 laps, but couldn't really get back to the lead once you lost that position. Walk us through it.
I had out hope and faith that these guys would know how to drive, guys and gals would know how to drive straight. And that was my biggest mistake of the night, was giving up spots early and being cautious on the 2, 3, 4 lap runs that we'd have and letting somebody by and hoping that it'd go green so I could save my tires and just stay calm and patient. And that went all to crap. And then after that, I just sat there fighting. And then I pit when we made the fuel window, thinking I'd have better tires and that we could maybe sort it out like I've seen before. I was wrong again. This time I get wrecked. And then at that point, it was just, I'm just going to go as hard as I can for these last, what was it? 10 laps, 12 laps, or whatever I had left in the race. And it worked out. Ended up P3. I just wish the racing style was different throughout the field.
Obviously, for you, it wraps up a very up and down week here at Darlington. Next week's going to be interesting because you have Talladega and Chicagoland mixing up between the series there. What do you feel going into, obviously, plate racing on Monday and Tuesday, and then Chicagoland kicking off the weekend on Friday? How are you feeling, obviously, going into this, and obviously just sort of the overall vibe right now? You're a contender in 2 different competitions at the moment. Just walk us through sort of how you feel the next week's going to go for you.
I love plate racing, again, but it's still a game of luck. I'm kicking myself for Darlington in the HTL Cup because that should have, if not a win, been a second place. But it just works like that sometimes. And I love trucks anywhere we go, and I love this car anywhere we go. So I'm looking forward to being a contender in all three and kicking down that door of not being able to win, especially in the HTL Cup.
Well, yeah, obviously a lot of work here to go. Still a contender in 2 different competitions here with a lot of racing left to go in the current seasons. Before I let you go and let you sort of get ready for the next week in advance, if there's anyone to shout out and say thank you to, the floor is yours. Congrats on the run here tonight and 3rd place finish to boot.
Shout out Blake Henderson for trying to Kyle Larson it into turn 3 and giving me 3rd. Shout out all of you and everybody who makes this show possible at ABN and HTL with the admins running these series. Shout out my beautiful girlfriend who watched this race again. Shout out Jacob Shangle for painting good and being there with me while we race. And shout out SSM for helping me out throughout the week. And shout out anybody else who needs their flowers.
Absolutely phenomenal job getting the 3rd place here tonight. John Hagan, pole sitter tonight with a 3rd place to boot to end off the week. Not a bad way to end off the week with Talladega up next. John, enjoy the podium, and we'll see you again on very soon on Monday.
Thank you.
That was John Hagan, 3rd place finisher here tonight. We'll give Jonathan Cogswell the ability to see if he's going to join in and take part of the interview process here tonight. I'm not even sure if he's in the HTL server or not, so that would be a good question to ask. But other than that, we'll take a second to look over the finishing order here tonight. Obviously, a very wild turn of events here at Darlington. A lot of cautions. Obviously, drivers going to have very, very clear opinions on this race, but we'll walk through what this race looked like, beginning with the top 12 here tonight. Not a very easy turn of events here. Jonathan Cogswell, first win, first start in HTL. Not a bad effort for him. He did a fantastic job tonight. Kalen Height and John Hagan rounding out the podium. We heard from 2nd and 3rd place on the podium. Blake Henderson gave it a shot to try to get around Caitlin Height. Tried to do a Hail Melon or as Hagan mentioned, a Kyle Larson wall ride. It did not work out. He lost a spot there at the finish. Ended up 4th place ahead of Mark Parkhurst, who got around Pelletier Sharp, as did David Duran Jr. Pelletier Sharp round out the top 7. Ruby S is in 8th. Eli Sask in 9th. Keeping the ascent trend of having both cars in the top 10 alive so far. 8th and 9th for them. 10th place, Stephen Oberstadt, our Daytona race winner, staying in the top 10. Keeping that run going, and a good result for him as well. DJ Trout and Callie Height rounding out the top 12. A good run of form for both of them here in this field. A little bit further down the order as we try to pull up the next page of results there. James Jones and Josh Gaiman round out the top 14 in this field. Looking a little bit further down, 15th place, Angel Santiago, the man that couldn't buy luck if he had money in his pocket. That's the nickname we're going to give him for this one, because he could not go anywhere. Still gained 9 spots in this race. 15th place is where he finished tonight. Connor Morris and Nathan Eastep, top 17. Austin Mongo lost some spots there on that last restart. Down to 18th. Jacob Shangle in 19th, 10 spots above where he started. Rhett Balzer in 20th place. Did not get his lap back. Could only go as high as 20th place. John Buwalda, Chris Pendell, Richard Odie, and Josh Sosi rounding out the top 24 here tonight. And then looking at the final set of drivers here, Chris Justice, Caleb Carter, John McIntyre, Jeremy Bailey, Dylan McDonald, the final run of cars in this race here tonight. Dylan McDonald, the first retirement of this race. All these cars on your screen were retirees from Darlington. That will do it from us here at ABN tonight. A phenomenal turn of events sees Jonathan Cogswell win on debut in a very, very grueling event. The next HTL National Series event is next Friday at Chicagoland Speedway. Race 3 up next in just a week's time. Monday and Tuesday It is HTL Cup Series and Truck Series action from Talladega. The ARC's A-Square Cup Series draft on Sunday at 7 p.m. here on ABN Esports 1. Obviously, we are just 12 days away from the return of ABN's flagship program, the ABN Champ Car World Series. That begins on January 24th. So a lot of action leading up to a very phenomenal week of racing. On behalf of everyone here for ABN, for HTL and National Series, and everyone involved with HTL, everyone involved with ABN Studios, I'm Carmen, Sienna. Thank you all so much for being a part of our show tonight. Thank you all for joining us and spending your Friday evening with us here tonight. Next up, Sunday, RXA Squared Draft Night. Until then, stay safe, stay healthy, have some fun in the weekend if we don't see you tomorrow or Sunday. But until next time, we'll see you next time.